This is KGW News at noon.
We start with the showdown in Washington. In less than 24 hours, former special counsel Robert Mueller will testify on Capitol Hill. Almost noon now. Thanks for being with us. I'm Chris Willis. The highly anticipated hearing comes over 3 months after Mueller released his investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. Meantime, current FBI Director Christopher Wray was in the hot seat just a few hours ago. Let's listen to what he said.
In all my experiences with him over the years, I've considered him to be the consummate professional and a straight shooter.
So do you have any reason to doubt his report, the Mueller report, the findings, and the basically how he went about the investigation of the Russia interference with our elections? Do you have any reason to doubt the integrity of his work?
No.
All right, more now from NBC's Tracy Potts with a preview of tomorrow's testimony.
New from the Justice Department, this letter telling Russia's special counsel Robert Mueller that any testimony must remain within the boundaries of your public report. No testimony concerning the redacted or blacked out portions. Also off limits tomorrow, privileged information, decisions made during the investigation, and any communication with the president.
No, I'm not going to be watching. Probably. Maybe I'll see a little bit of it.
I think the president is terrified.
Mueller set to spend 5 hours with the Judiciary and Intelligence Committees talking about his report on Russian election interference. It did not indict or clear President Trump on obstruction of justice. Mueller's promised he won't say anything new.
The report is my testimony. I would not provide information beyond that which is already public in any appearance before Congress.
But Democrats believe most Americans haven't read the 448-page report and will be shocked to hear the details.
And it will be very important for us to go through that evidence of conspiracy, that evidence of collusion, because it is damning whether it can be prosecuted or not.
Republicans accuse Democrats of staging an unnecessary sideshow. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
And a reminder to stay with KGW for continuing coverage. We will carry much of the Mueller testimony live here on KGW starting at 5:30 tomorrow morning. Other news at noon, Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley is taking on the issue of state laws versus federal laws when it comes to legal marijuana. He testified at a Senate committee hearing this morning. Marijuana, of course, is illegal on a federal level, so many banks don't want to provide services to dispensaries out of fear they could be accused of money laundering by the government. Senator Merkley talked about the need for change.
I've heard from dozens of people who are operating perfectly legal businesses who have been forced to deal entirely in cash or risk having business and personal bank accounts or lines of credit cut off.
Senator Merkley says last year, state and local governments took home over $80 million in taxes. Fortunately, no one was hurt when a fire spread from a garage to 2 houses in southeast Portland. Portland Fire tweeted out this video. The fire started just before 9 o'clock this morning down on southeast Taggart Street. We caught up with a man who lives in one of the burned houses. He wasn't home when the fire broke out, but his daughter was.
I received a phone call from my daughter a little before 9 o'clock. I was probably 15 minutes away. She was pretty hysterical. A fireman had pounded on the door until she woke up and told her she had to evacuate the house. There was a fire. So she grabbed our dog and herself and came outside. By the time I got here, everything was engulfed in smoke and flames.
Fire investigators still working to try and determine the cause of that fire. 3 women are safe after their small plane made an emergency landing near the Madras airport. It happened yesterday afternoon. Authorities say the plane lost power as it was trying to land at the airport. The pilot was forced to make a crash landing in a nearby cow pasture. Here's the rancher who owns that field.
And of course, the cows were pretty excited. They thought it was something more to play with. I got a bunch of phone calls from the neighbors and the police to come up, and I had a fence busted. So they held the cows back and we repaired the fence. My grandsons helped me.
The grandkids involved. Again, all 3 people on board, including a student pilot and a flight instructor, are okay. A man accused of killing a woman at a residential care facility in Portland appeared in court this morning. He's 57-year-old Roger Jones. He pleaded not guilty to the murder charge. According to court documents, Jones allegedly strangled 46-year-old Hyann Cow in May. Court documents show both Jones and Cow were living at the Cameron Care Center on Southeast Powell Boulevard. Bail has been set for a Vancouver man arrested following a deadly crash earlier this month. This morning, a judge set bail for 33-year-old Daniel Barry at $250,000. He's facing vehicular homicide charges. The crash happened in Battleground July 8th. Police say Barry drove through a red light and hit 58-year-old motorcyclist John Christensen. Christensen was taken to the hospital where he later died. Prosecutors say Barry had a history of causing car crashes and, in all instances, never had auto insurance. Barry will be arraigned this Friday. A Gresham man beaten with a hammer at a 7-Eleven is talking about the moment he was blindsided and nearly killed. He got out of the hospital Monday, the same day the alleged attacker appeared in court. Our Catherine Cook spoke with the victim.
For taking a blow to the head with a hammer, Paul Dovgan is standing strong.
I'm thankful to be alive.
On his fractured skull, a metal plate and 12 staples. By his side, his wife Natalie.
I'm very, very glad they caught him. Very glad.
Paul's memory of Friday morning is hazy. It was just after 5. He and his friend Alex were getting coffee at this 7-Eleven on Northeast 181st near Halsey. That's when Gresham police say 39-year-old Jonathan Jones walked in and hit Paul on the head with a hammer.
I haven't even seen that guy. I don't even know what happened. I just got my drink, ready to go, just put a cap, turn around. That's all I remember.
Natalie says Jones also swung at Paul's friend Alex, who stepped in to help. Others did too.
I'm thankful to the Good Samaritan that took off his shirt and tied his forehead so he doesn't bleed to death. I'm thankful to the guy that called the police.
That night, Portland police arrested Jones on 160th and Burnside. He was arraigned Monday on multiple charges, including attempted murder and assault.
I'm just glad they caught him so nobody else has to go through this.
That's likely what Harry Anderson thought 9 years ago. That's when Jones attacked him with a hammer outside this Happy Valley Walmart, hit him twice on the head.
The hammer he had, way he was swinging it, I was dead meat.
Jones was convicted of second-degree assault and sentenced to almost 6 years in prison. In 2011, Jones told KGW from jail that he was high on meth when he attacked Anderson. He said voices told him Anderson was a danger to society.
If I'm wrong, I hope the individual doesn't suffer too much. But if I'm right, I don't care either way.
You feel like you were doing the right thing?
You just believe it, yes.
Right now, Paul isn't focused on Jones. His only concerns are his wife, 4 young daughters, and expressing gratitude.
Thanks for the community, for church members helping us out. Take one day at a time and recover.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Beaverton police could use your help tracking down a guy they say has taken upskirt photos at a Nordstrom Rack. Authorities say it happened on Saturday afternoon at the store on Southwest Cascade. They say a man took a photo up the skirt of an unsuspecting woman. Another shopper happened to witness that alleged crime and chased the guy out of the store. She tried to confront him, but he got away.
He looked like a normal guy. He, well dressed, but just the way that he was staring and, he didn't have any merchandise in his hands, and you could definitely tell he wasn't there to shop.
The suspect, believed to be an Hispanic man, mid-20s to early 30s, 200 to 215 pounds, wearing black rimmed glasses. Take a look. If you recognize him or think you could be a victim, you're encouraged to call Beaverton Police. A man trying to siphon gasoline ended up destroying 3 church vans in Oregon City. This surveillance video from Grandview Baptist Church shows what happened early Sunday morning. You can see the man approach one of the vans and then moments later smoke and then fire. The man used a drill to try to siphon the gas, then took off after the vans caught fire. Look at that. The pastor says it'll cost as much as $40,000 to replace those vans. All right, shift gears, take you outside. A live look from our Rose City Skycam. Pretty nice day, all things considered. Rod Hill is here now, and Rod, we're getting a little bit of a break from the hot weather we've had.
Yeah, it was 91 over the weekend, so the clouds, of course, keeping our temperatures down today, and we should go on to get some sun, but stay pretty comfortable. So we'll take you through some cameras to help you prepare for your afternoon. Here's Cannon Beach. A lot of people out enjoying the day on the beach. You can see the skies are cloudy, 64 degrees. The visible satellite picture is a great tool to kind of show you if we're going to clear or not. So Portland and to the east side, out in Gresham, good afternoon. That's a really solid cloud cover. You get down toward McMinnville, you can see it's breaking up a little bit. Salem actually quite sunny, and then a kind of a mixed bag of clouds at the coast. Let's go back to some of our live cameras, what we call ground truth. Whale Cove Inn, which is just south of Depot Bay, they're showing a little bit of sunshine this afternoon, so even at the beach there could be some clearing. Here's Stoller Family Vineyards Estate down in Dayton in the heart of the Willamette Valley wine country. They're getting a little bit of break in the cloud cover, 68 degrees. It's been like this most of the day out in the East Gorge from the Oregon Veterans Home in the Dalles. And by the way, the story east of the Cascades is the heat. Already 84. You folks in the Dalles are on your way up to get 90 degrees today. Clouds still holding over the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club, and it's 68 degrees out at the airport. But I think most of us will see some slow clearing. I'm going to leave Portland's high temperature forecast at 79. That should set up a very pleasant evening for you. Hey, Chris, we do have high fire danger and the chance of some lightning strikes east of the mountains today, and we'll talk about that coming up.
All right, it's that time of year. We'll see you then. Thank you. Take a look at this scary dash cam video out of Dallas, Texas. You can see this man on an e-scooter. Look at him on the left there, weaving through traffic on a busy highway. The city ordinance does not prevent e-scooter riders from being on the interstate, but the city website does say scooters can be used on streets with speed limits at 35 miles an hour or lower. A state bill from earlier in the year would have banned scooters from state highways, but it failed to get a vote on the House floor. Meantime, two of those e-scooter companies that operate here in Portland are facing lawsuits. Those suits were filed in Austin, Texas. They claim Bird and Lime e-scooters have various issues with their brakes. That includes brakes that suddenly lock up while riding or stop working altogether. One man says he was thrown off a scooter and into the path of a bus, which then ran over his arm. He says he needed at least 2 surgeries to repair the damage.
Very unexpectedly and violently, I got thrown from the front of the scooter.
The only time we're going after these is when their product is actually causing the injury.
Our sister station in Austin reached out to the scooter companies for comment. Lime says it can't talk about pending lawsuits. Bird has not responded yet. Now to a legal battle between the Oregon-based Tofurky Company and Arkansas. The business just filed a lawsuit against the state's new food labeling law. It bans calling plant-based meat alternatives burgers or hot dogs on the labels. Companies who violate that rule could be fined up to $1,000. In the suit, Tofurky claims the ban violates free speech. The law is supposed to go into effect tomorrow.